Hello, everyone. This is the third question I am dealing with in my program of teaching and learning English. A question I get asked often by parents who ask me, we don't know English, we can't speak it, but can we help our child learn this language? Right? The simple answer is yes, you can. And today I will show you ways of doing it. If you are listening to me in English, I don't think you really need to you don't have the problem of not talking in English or acting or using English. But if you're a teacher or if you're in a position in which you can help others understand this, please do so because it will help. And maybe help children at a very young age, which is the best time to learn a language. Not really learn, because learning is a system that they might not even need when they're very young. I'm talking about 2 or 3 or 4, 5 year olds, but they can acquire the language. Acquisition, right? Acquiring a language. Let me put that word. If you are a teacher, it's going to help you. You can acquire a language, and the word is, there's a whole field of research on language acquisition. For example, your mother tongue, right? Sinhala or Tamil, you acquire. No one actually teaches you that when you're young. Of course, when you come to school, you learn the grammar rules and mama yami, yamu, all the apiyamu and all the jazz. That you need to learn the grammar rules. But using the language to communicate, you acquire because you, as a baby, you have heard that language around you. It could be Sinhala, Tamil, and there are some lucky enough to hear both languages. They grow up in bilingual families. Very few grow up with trilingual families. That's superb if that is available to you. But it could be Sinhala, Tamil, it could be English, Sinhala, it could be Tamil, English, whatever. If you grow up listening to both those languages, you learn it much faster. You acquire it so that when you have to learn the rules or whatever, you don't even have to learn the rules because you're using it properly. Rules are actually useless if you're anyway using a language correctly. For a linguist, you might need the rules, but for someone to use, communicate, it's actually the grammar is quite useless if you're anyway using it correctly. The problem or the conflicts with grammar happens because for an adult, he has passed the age where you can acquire it easily. I mean, of course, the process is easier if you're stuck in England and you have to communicate. You listen to it more. But grammar is useful for adults who need to get the intellect working to understand the rule. But for a child, just listening to it, hearing it is enough, right? Now, the question then is, okay, if I am saying that listening to the language is good and we don't speak English, then what do we do? So then what I would suggest is make the environment for your child a place where English is available. You may not speak it, but you can put the English radio into the English channel. If the radio doesn't exist anymore in households, use your phone. Put English songs. The child may not understand and you may not understand, but his ear is getting used to hearing that noise, which is English, right? Quietly, he will. Children, I haven't studied child psychology or whatever, but language acquisition tells us that a child can understand much before he can speak. So that is why they tell, even in your mother tongue, please read to them. We have this Akurukiya Vima ceremonies. After that, read to them. Every night, if you can find the time, read to them so that their little minds are acquiring these structures which they will produce later. So if you can somehow read English and if you can find a book and read to that person, you have it made. That child will remember the words when it comes to actually producing it. Now, the question is, what if you can't read? Then, now first I talked about radio. Look at TV. One of the unfortunate things we do in this country is now we have started dubbing English cartoons into Sinhala. We have lost a very good chance of getting a generation of learners in remote villages at least getting used to English. Because for a child to watch that cartoon and guess the story and listen to the language, he would know what it means. The parents might not know, but the child will get it. Because he's very young, he's acquiring it. And if you can't find English language cartoons and if you can afford the internet, go on YouTube. Find the programs in English. Type these, like I did this in the SInhala program as well. If you can, internet is not a very healthy thing for a long time for a child, so be careful. But let's say half an hour, if you type cartoons for children, if you are scared of the content, watch it first before you expose your child to it. Excuse my typing. Stories for... And one of my friends, after watching my second video, said also talk about audiobooks. You know, because there are audiobooks available, but audiobooks, I don't know whether children have audiobooks, maybe, but they do have. Another listener typed in the comment, they have graded readers at every level. You know, so you can have very basic readers, but I'm not too sure whether children's books are available as graded readers, but for adults, definitely they are. So if you type stories for children in English, something would come up. Find the audio version. And my third thing, nursery rhymes. These are things like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, Baba, Black Sheep. Those are available on the internet. There's a whole lot of it. A little bit, maybe not very useful for us because the accent they use is often not a Sri Lankan accent, but that's all right. You can make the children clap to it. They can sing it. They'll probably sing it faster than you. Right? Because music and fun and clapping and rhythm is something that any child will connect to. Right? So if you put the nursery rhymes and tell him to clap, he might even start saying Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, Baba, Black Sheep. Please encourage him. Because then when he gets to grade 1, 2, 3, English won't be so alien to him. It won't be that far away from his life. It will be connected to him. And this is another crucial thing. Please make it fun when they are young. If you are a mother or a father who can afford the time, when you're watching him, keep him on your lap, clap with him, even if you can't say the words, right? Rock with him, swing your body with him so that he will associate the English language with fun, with love, and it's part of his personal life. And a baby or a very young child will think of that with love. So that once they're adults and they go on the process of learning, this language won't be disliked so much. And if someone tells me they don't dislike it, I beg to differ. I see them in campus when they're adults, and I know there is dislike. That's half the problem we encounter. It's nothing, very little to do with intelligence. It's more psychological block connected to the sense of inferiority that Sri Lankans have. I think the people who know English had made sure the others have if they don't know English, right? Some of them. So make it fun. You don't have to know it. But by those things, you can make it closer. And the third thing. So my first thing, radio, audio, please put anything you can. News is a bit deadly to watch, but put English channels so that even if you don't understand, the child sees, hears English in your house. Secondly, visual. Find those programs in English, find cartoons in English, right? Make it something you do naturally every day. 15 minutes, because internet is anyway not quite safe, you know, that kind of upbringing. But if you can get nursery rhymes on a CD, and if you have a CD player, put it and let the child dance. Clap with him, dance with him. So it's fun for him, right? CD player is super because that won't make him watch passively. A CD player or CD playing nursery rhymes will allow you to dance, and they are available in the shops, right? Then the third thing is, perhaps the most crucial, reading. Children's books are some of the most vibrant, most magical things I have seen. And the sad thing is, in Sri Lanka, they have become absolutely costly, right? They are costly anyway, because look at, like, I'm talking about things like these. This is my collection, which I managed to collect when I was on a scholarship, in the US. But they are delightful. Any child who does not know English would still appreciate the beauty of these books, right? They will do that. Because now, for example, they also have a nice message. This is about family. You know how families love each other and they have fun and all that. So it makes people feel very, very warm. I mean, when you're an adult, you'll get into dystopian novels. Don't do that to your child, right? So these are such delights. What do we do if we can't find these here? One of my favorite haunts in Sri Lanka is second-hand bookstores, right? Second-hand bookstores have more books than you would believe, especially children's books, because when children grow up, their parents might actually give the books away, right? Try second-hand bookstores. They are also now becoming quite expensive. Like today, I went to the book fair because I'm involved in a project in the north where we are trying to get an English for Fun project going, and we got many second-hand books, and also not too expensive books from like Sarasavi and MD Gunasen, who do produce books for children. Please try and find, if you can afford it, colored books, or if you have a library, try asking them to show you the children's section. And if they have got any children's books, please use it, because books like these, they open up a world of magic for children. They do, right? And it's some of it is quite philosophical also. For example, this book, this child is going around asking animals to play with him, her. No one comes, and then she doesn't do anything. She just sits there and waits, and all the animals come to her. Quite a Zen story. But for kids, simply written. So there are magical stuff. In fact, you only need one reader, a few good books to make children love this language. Same, even in Sinhala, even in Tamil. A good reader and someone sitting and reading to a group of kids might open the doors of magic for a few of them. In fact, that's what I've been trying to do in this country for a long time here, because there might be households that can't afford this kind of upbringing. So I've been trying to tell people, do it to nursery schools. Nursery schools might get more money, do it from there. I've called it an English for Fun project. If anyone wants, I've even put it up on FB. But the Northern Province now is the first to put it in action. We are still at the piloting stage. We are going to start soon with 30 schools. Today we bought some books. It's possible with a bare minimum, someone who loves reading, who loves books, even if the parents can't, if a teacher in the nursery can, you can affect hundreds of children who come under you. These are possible things. Please contact me if you want to find out, my proposal and how it can be done. We are piloting in the Northern Province, and I'll talk about the results maybe a year from now. So this is just to tell you that it is possible if you can afford membership if you're around Colombo, if you can afford British Council membership, which is quite high, please do so. Take your children, let them spend time with those books. They have like beautiful books, very expensive, but membership, but it's for 1 year. It might be worth it if you can afford it. Take the child, you can sit there while the child reads. These worlds are accessible to you. We tend to think that the British Council is not ours, not accessible. If you can find the money, you can go take your child, let him read the books, even if you can't. And if you have a village, And if you're not in Colombo, if you have a public library in your village, go talk to the librarian, see whether you can get English books. It's possible, right? But you have to work to make the environment have English while the child is growing up. I'm talking about 2, 3, 4-year-olds. Make sure they don't lose the mother tongue as well. Obviously, you will talk it, but at least English won't be the period. They'll be cutting during school because it's a journey. And if you have given them the love of reading, the love of storytelling, even watching films in English, there are delightful children's films like Kung Fu Panda. I still watch them, right? Coco, Rio. If you've given the love of storytelling and they listen to that in English, they will enjoy the process. They will like the language. And if they do that, that process of learning and using English won't be unfamiliar to them. So please tap them when they are very young. You can do it if you put this environment in place. Maybe not the same as like a bilingual family, but at least it's there so that they don't feel this is a language that has nothing to do with us. Thank you very much.